When you give blood, you get rewards. Right now, when you donate blood, we'll give you a voucher for a $10 gift card to one of our participating businesses, or give you a lightweight quarter-zip long-sleeve shirt. Even if you try to give blood and find out you can't, we're still giving you a voucher for a gift card or a great shirt. Visit our donor center today at Wabash and Chatham Road near Goodwill. Please, because we're changing the world together.
The leaders live on WMAY.
How many of you have had problems with roosters?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah.
I don't have the rooster anymore. I have turkeys. There's like 3 or 4 of them in a backyard. Right now, we do not have a barnyard type ordinance. You can have goats and whatever, but there's not really anything that we could do.
Normally, the restrictions are tied to commercial type activities.
Stay informed. Stay connected on WMAY.
Governor J.B. Pritzker expected at 10 o'clock today to announce new COVID-19 mitigation. Chicago Sun-Times reporting that the governor is going to make that announcement of requiring vaccines for K through 12 and higher ed educators, but also a indoor mask mandate for anybody over the age of 2. This, as we've seen COVID-19 numbers increase. And to get reaction to that and to look at some of these numbers as they've been crunching them all COVID long, Ted Dabrowski is president of Wirepoints. Ted, thanks for taking time. We got 5 minutes, so I guess just lay it out there. What do the numbers look like? What are you guys able to pick apart? And tell us what's the real picture here when it comes to COVID-19 and these looming mandates. Will they work?
Well, you know, what's I think bothering lots of people is that we know the numbers are up. The fear is up because the press is telling us the cases are up, hospitalizations are up. But if you look for the data from the government, it's really hard to figure out what's going on. Almost 95% have at least one jab. 75% almost for those over 18. So the numbers, vaccination-wise, look really good. But it's really hard to understand what's happening in the hospitals. Are these mostly vaccinated people who are going to be fine eventually? Are the youth that are there, they're going to be fine? We don't know. We don't have the data, and they're not sharing it with us, and that makes it really hard to evaluate.
So, Ted, tell us how we're looking as far as the metrics for COVID-19 outbreaks in schools. Do we have that data? Has that been clearly accessible when it comes to being able to better wrap our hands around some of these mandates that the governor has?
No, we FOIA'd the governor for that information of who's in the hospitals with the youth, all those kind of things. We have yet to get it back, and it's been a while now. They're not happy to share that information. So we know from our past that COVID does not spread in schools. We know that the kids handle it really well. We've had 12 deaths of kids in the entire pandemic under the age of 17 in Illinois. So it's been fortunately it's only 12. Many more kids die from accidents and cancer and other things than COVID. So it's really hard to understand these big mandates rather than letting school districts decide on their own based on their own local conditions.
Ted, we've got, of course, the economic impacts that we've seen. That's something else that we really haven't, other than the unemployment rate and inflation and things along those lines. Have we indications that mask mandates help soften the blow of whatever economic impact there are, or does it actually compound issues?
It's hard to get that data, but I think we have to be really careful again with our economy. Of course, we flooded it with billions of dollars from the federal government, so we've kind of survived there. But as we start to wind down all that spending, you got to wonder, are we going to keep putting mandates, whether they're vaccine mandates or mask mandates, that slow down the economy? We have the 8th worst unemployment rate in the country right now. We'd have 100,000 more people working if we had the same unemployment rate as the national average. So we're behind. We're way behind, and more mandates, especially from the top, more forcing of action by the people from the governor is just wrong. It's the wrong way to go at this point in the 18 months into the pandemic.
Well, and Ted, we've got 50 states in the United States, and just across the river here from Central Illinois, Missouri, and they've actually got their attorney general suing to block mask mandates. So, who's looking at the science? Who's looking at the data? And is the public being given that information so that they can make their own minds up?
Well, I think what everybody should do is just watch Governor Pritzker in his press conference yesterday, and he's shutting down dissent. Not just he's not just making his own rules, but allowing dissent. He's actually shutting it down, and I think sadly bullying people into conforming. And that's just not the way to go to bring about change. He needs to be convincing, and the science often will tell people what to do, but I think, frankly, people just don't know what the science is because our government has not been truthful in sharing it.
Well, and how important is it to, in just a minute here, to get the proper context of everything, right? We hear case after case after case after case, but we don't know if that case is somebody who had heart disease or who was, morbidly obese or had other underlying conditions. How important is it we get the proper context other than just being inundated with case numbers?
Well, we're lost. And, we just heard that the CDC, this was released by the New Yorker magazine, that the CDC, basically hid the information about the biggest mask study that's been done for kids in the country. And they found that masks were not effective. And they kept that from the public. So the more we hear of things like that, we just don't know what to trust anymore. And I think that's the biggest issue right now. Until this government is honest, shares the data, and lets people know what's really happening, there's going to be doubt, there's going to be pushback, and we're not going to be happy campers.
Ted Dabrowski, president of Wirepoints, here on the WMAY Morning News Feed. Greatly appreciate your time, and we'll connect again soon, all right?
Thank you, Greg.
It is the WMAY Morning News Feed, and I want your reaction next at 217-629-7970. It is WMAY, 8 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. Stay informed.